Shoot a little B-roll here.
Is this thing even on? That's pretty cool. Well, I crashed the drone, and I crashed it so good too. Not my proudest moment. I crashed it directly into the side of a mountain, wide open, full throttle, in like the worst place possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you that footage of the epic crash. I'm going to talk to you about what I learned, which was actually quite a bit, and talk just a little bit about using drones in the backcountry, particularly when you're shooting sledding, snowmobiling in the backcountry. If you're familiar with DJI, you're probably thinking, where's Rico? Where's the man? We love Rico. Well, obviously he can't be here because he caught the Ronivirus. No, he didn't. He didn't. I'm kidding. He did not. But because of Corona, we can't really hang out right now. So I'm Randy. I'm Rick's brother. And you never see me on the channel because I shoot all of the videos. So I'm on the other side of the camera all the time. This is where I edit them. This is where I put up the videos for DJI. So I thought I could pinch hit today for Ricky. Bear with me on that. If you're new to DJI, go ahead and subscribe. If you do subscribe, you can hit that little bell notification. And then instead of checking in on our channel all the time, it'll just send you a notification. And we don't post a whole lot of videos, probably 3 a month. We might even slow down a little bit in the summer, but we'll still have lots of good stuff. We got a great video coming next week. The only other thing is we got a couple comments about these t-shirts, and guys are like, oh, where'd you get that? Well, we made them, and I wanted to put this little rail under the window in YouTube. I'm sure you've seen it. I'll put one up on the screen here. But so I went to our Teespring to put in that widget underneath the video player, and it said no mas because you need 10,000 subscribers. So that's kind of a goal of ours, to get to 10,000 subscribers. I think we only have 5 or something now. People are always like, oh, you guys deserve way more subs. So yeah, maybe you should, but we're gonna stop begging for subscribers. I think it's like busking in front of the liquor store or something like that. Anyway, drone or boner. Here's what happened when I crashed so hard. I was meeting Team Sask, the Flatlander boys, and Ricky in Revelstoke for a sled trip. Only one guy here has won the Vesna Trophy in 1983. You'll never guess which guy. But I was a little ahead of time, so I thought I'd pull over, stretch my legs, and it was just a beautiful scene where I was at. So I was like, man, I should just burn a battery on my drone while I'm here looking at this gorgeous scene. So I get out of the truck to stretch, and I put the drone up over this little lake, and it's just gorgeous. And I see these train tunnels, and I'm like, oh, this would be cool if a train came. Well, lo and behold, train was coming. So I got ready to shoot this train coming through the tunnel. You can see the traffic on the right side there going down the highway, and here comes the train. I jack up my exposure a little bit, and I'm like, my drone's not fast enough to do this. I'm gonna try and get him on the other side. On the right hand side here, you can see these avalanche chutes. That is a no stopping zone, and that's an avalanche chute, and that is exactly where I'm about to plow that drone into. So I'm coming around the corner. I'm like, okay, I'm going fast enough now. Right here, I got the drone wide open. And I'm like, I'm gonna get a good shot here. I'm gonna beat the train over. I'm gonna turn to the left a little bit, get it framed good. Here we go, yeah. Jacking around, that's kind of where I like it. And we're gonna get a sick shot of this CP rail train just going through the tunnel. Oh yeah, it's just about to hit the tunnel, man. Boom. Into the mountain, up into a tree. So at this point, I am like super panicked, and I just jack up the exposure, and the only reason I did that is I just wanted to see if maybe I could see something on the screen that was maybe identifiable from where I was standing, which, you know, looking at it from 600 meters back, it's like impossible. It's just a forest. So that was it. Super crash, man, right into the mountain. And immediately I was just like so panicked. I was like shitting my pants. So lesson number 1 is I didn't even know that there was a Find My Drone function. I have flown this drone 157 times for 330,000 meters. That's like 300 kilometers or like 200 miles. So, you know, I'm by no means am I a drone expert, but I'm not a noob either. You know, I've flown it quite a few times. But I had no idea that that Find My Drone function was on there because I have never lost it before. So that was lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 was I was so panicked that I'm like, I need to call somebody. I didn't have cell service. And so that lesson, you know, it makes total sense when you think about it. The drone runs off satellite and you don't need cell service. But I panicked a little bit when I didn't have cell service because I thought, you know, I was going to lose everything. But the app still worked just perfectly fine. I had to Find My Drone on there. But I needed help because I couldn't stop on the side of the road there. I couldn't get to the drone. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to get up that chute because it was steep. I was like, we'll need ropes. But I didn't even know where it was. But I could see it on the Find My Drone app. So I had to drive to get cell service to call Rico, my brother. And I'm like, dude, I just crashed my drone. I need your help. I got him on his inReach. He's like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. So he was on his way until he came across the Flatlander crew who were conducting a physics experiment across the entire road. They eventually got chains on the Flatlander truck, but by that time it was dark. And so young Christian Miller, being the good man that he is, he hopped in with me and Buddy Les and Rico, and we drove back out to the site. And I could still see it I could still track it on the map from the Find My Drone app. So this is a huge reminder that, like, practice using that app. Because I didn't even know it existed. And then when I was in full panic mode, I was like, I don't know what to do. But practice using it. You know, we do that with avalanche beacons sometimes too, is just hide a beacon in the parking lot or whatever, just so you can practice, you know, and everybody turn on the search and try and find that thing. You should do the same thing with your drone. Just hide it somewhere down the block or in the back or whatever and turn on the app and just kind of go through the motions of finding your drone, should you ever plow it into the trees. So anyway, we drove out there in the pitch dark. I got one of those triangle caution signs out of Rick's trailer so we didn't get run over on the highway by a semi. And I kind of plowed my truck into the snowbank on the side. And we just started climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. I knew it was from the app, you can see that it was at 24 meters high. So we kind of had to guess on that. You know, the longitude and latitude, you could kind of get right onto the spot with it, but I didn't know. You know, I'm just looking up in trees going, with the flashlight going, how the hell am I going to see a black drone and pretty much a black tree in night, right? So we were right on the pin and I'm looking up in the tree and Les is like, it's right there, it's right there. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I looked down and I had almost stepped on it because it had fallen out of the tree and was in the snow. And it was like a miracle. I couldn't believe, not in a million years did I think that we would find that drone. So got it out, nothing was broken, went back, dried it out, flew it the next day when we were snowmobiling, and it was awesome. So that obstacle avoidance is something that I put way too much faith in. You know, I've hit little trees before, like you can see this shot here, me and Rico were just goofing around, and I hit a small branch, but I also don't think that obstacle avoidance picks up snow as much as you would think. Because I've tested it a few times, not to the ultimate limit where I plow it into a snowbank, but man, it doesn't work as good as you would think it would work in the bright snow. And the other thing is when you're in the backcountry, you think, oh, I got all of this space and you got a bluebird sky with the white snow and you can see your drone for 100 miles. And then all of a sudden it drops into the tree line. And once the trees get behind the drone, it vanishes. And it's like really, really, really hard to find by sight, even when it's not that far away. So that's something to be very cautious about. Be cautious about that obstacle avoidance. Like, just practice with it. But now, of course, I don't trust it anymore, which is a problem. Last week we had a great video on here, you guys. It was rider differential. So we had Landon and Rick, two different sized guys, about 40, 50 pounds difference, running the same sled with the same setup to see what the difference would be on the sled. So if you haven't watched that, you should check that out from last week. And coming up, we're gonna have a zinger, guys. This is gonna be, a few people noticed that Rick was limping in the one video, and he was because Ricky screwed up bad.
Well, we had a little incident up on the mountain today. Ricky screwed up really bad. But it's okay. It's just plastic and metal.
So we have footage of what happened, and it's gonna be a zinger. It's probably gonna be our best video. So subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notified when I put that video up. It might not be, depends with the coronavirus, but because I have to shoot some stuff with Rico. But that's that. So here's that video from last week if you want to check that out. Our logo's down here if you want to click on that to subscribe, and if you do, hit that bell so that you can get notified when we put this zinger up next week. I hope I did okay pitch hitting for Rico here, but I'll be behind the camera most of the time instead of in front of it, so don't worry about that. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you enjoyed this.